Hello, guys! How are you doing today? I hope you're okay. I am fine, thank you. And I'm back. I'm back from the dead. It's been a while, I know. It's been a while since I last posted on this channel. And as I stated in my previous videos, my life was very crazy at that time. And after that, it got even crazier. So much stuff has happened. I moved to an apartment with my husband. We traveled abroad to celebrate our marriage. I switched jobs and I had little to no time to record at all. So that's why I stopped posting. And also, I didn't have quite the time, both the time and the energy to produce content. So that's why I stopped. But I'm back. My Sims 2 obsession is also back. And I'm currently in a state where I have some spare time to record, so that's when I'm gonna try to bring new content to you guys. And so if you already watched my previous videos and you're there with me in this new one, thank you for sticking around. If you're new, welcome to the channel. I'm just a girl who loves to play The Sims very much, and Sims 2, as you can obviously see, is my favorite. It has always been, and I think it will always be. And in this channel, I'd like to share my creations, my stories, my Sims, everything that I want with you. And today, as you can see by the title, marks the first installment of a series that I intend to make, which is me showcasing you my Pleasantview 70 years later. So here I have Pleasantview 2.0. First of all, let me do two quick disclaimers. My game is in Portuguese, as you can see, so sorry for that because to me it's really not so comfortable to keep switching the game from Portuguese to English because I like to play it in Portuguese. It's my mother language and I like to create content in English, so I have broader audience. So I'm gonna try to mix those two things in a way that's comfortable for you guys to watch. But if you have any suggestion, if you have any request regarding this language matter, please feel free to comment and I'll try to adapt my content so it's more comfortable to you. And the second disclaimer is that in my stories, you're gonna see that I have some behaviors or some events that are not possible in vanilla gameplay. That's because I have more than 100 mods in my downloads folder. But as always, you can ask in the comments what's the mod, what's the custom content that I use, and I'm gonna be really happy to answer that. And let me know if you want like videos showcasing my favorite mods or gameplay or the ones that I use the most. And I'm also gonna do that. So without further ado, let's start with my Pleasantville. I tell my sim stories by taking screenshots of any major events or core moments that I want to be in the record, and I stick that in their family album. I use this feature for every family, and I take screenshots, I make a quick description of that moment of the picture, and then I keep going with my gameplay because that's how I track of what's happening in their lives, in their families. And then even if I stop playing for a long time, as I did many times in this wood, I know exactly what happened, what their story is, what was their last major event. And I also have a spreadsheet to keep track of everything that I want to do in my hood. We have 23 active households here. We have some apartments that were recently added to the city, like Pleasantview in my headcanon is this countryside style city. So it's not very much of a central city, a metropolis, but it's more of a countryside place. Like, see, they have a big river over here. They have some development, like many roads and many highways, but it's still countryside vibe. Almost everyone knows each other. It has no big companies like established in the town. Many of the sims that work like in larger or more modern careers have to travel to work every day. So that's kind of the context that I built in my head for Pleasantville. And with the recent years, because remember, this is my safe 70 years later, the beginning of the game. So many stuff has happened. Some development has met the city. As you can see, through these apartments spread through the city. We have some new community laws. So let's start with our first family, which are the Goths. So fun fact in Portuguese, if you are Brazilian, you are perfectly understanding everything that's on the screen. But if you are not, the Goth translation in Portuguese is literally coughing. Their last name, Goth in Portuguese, is Caixão, which means literally coffee. So I think that's very funny. I think that's very suiting. I always saw the Goths kind of like a Adams family of the scenes. I guess many of us did, and it's I kind of see that reference on the household members and the visuals. And as you can see, the Goth household is not so goth anymore. It's pretty much a normal house, like with a white painting on the outside, a blue roof, some stuff for children here. You can still see the Goth cemetery. So let's read their bios. So Bianca and Leandro are simply the perfect couple. The mansion inherited from the Goths exudes love and harmony, but from time to time, strange things happen. Sudden fires, floating furniture, and doors opening on their own. Could this be the effect of the Goth family's legacy of generations upon generations buried in their garden, or just coincidence? So, we'll get to know that. Let's pause for a moment so we can see our beautiful Goth mansion. We have here the same mansion. I didn't change anything in the structure of the house, just the looks of it. So, as you can see, I changed the outside a lot. One thing that I did change was this garage. It wasn't here in the past, but they got a car, and because you can see they have a lot of money, not all the money they have in the beginning of the game, and I'm gonna get to that later. But yeah, so here we have the infamous Goth cemetery, but we do not have all the scenes that used to be here. Oh no, we do. Sorry, fake news, guys. Everyone's here. So I think this is the only family that kept all of their ancestors in their garden, for story purposes. So here we have the entrance of the house, pretty much the same. The same old piano is here. We have some cat stuff because, as you can see, they have two cute cats right now. I kind of renovated this area. I took off that fireplace and put like a nice, lovely TV. So I still kept a little bit of that goth vibe the house originally had. So I kept the sofas in a more antique style. I kept some curtains, but I renovated the colors, the mixes of it, and that's pretty much it. So this is the first floor. Here we have the big main bedroom, like the couple's bedroom. We have uh, a boys' room and a girls' room, and I'm gonna get to the children in a minute. So yeah, and the last floor, I said I didn't change the structure, but I actually did. It's like a little cozy gaming room for Leandro, since he was a gaming legend. So for his career, he used to come here to train for his gaming competitions and also to study new games. Like he was also kind of influencer, so he came here to stream, to keep up with the news in the gaming industry. As you can see, we have a lot of gaming posters here. So yeah, that's why I made this room. And the top, we still have the Goth telescope, the Mortimer telescope, where he kept waiting for Laura to come back for a very long time. And that's it. So let's talk about the story of the family itself. So, starting from the beginning, Belagov and Mortimer were pretty much in love with each other, but deep in her heart, Bella still felt like something was missing. Like she was never fully happy in his marriage. It was more maybe because Mortimer was a very good friend when they were kids, and they had many similarities. Like they were not very close or of their own families. They felt like they were kind of black sheep. So I think that kind of bonded them together. But not that Bella was like deeply passionate about him. And we have to always remember that Mortimer is knowledge scene and Bella got the romance team. So some speculate that she's kind of the hopeless romantic sim that like searching for romance, but not like Don Lothario. More like, oh, she's searching for her true love. But I don't really buy it. I really think that Bella was kind of lost in this relationship. So although she had two beautiful children with Mortimer, she was not feeling like fully fulfilled. So yeah, time has passed. They first had Cassandra, lovely little girl with a very strong personality, but also very shy. So yeah. And then when Cassandra was a teenager, they had Alexander that resembled much of his father, both physically and emotionally. And some more year later, Bella gets abducted. So yeah, everything indicates that Bella was really abducted in Dawn's condo after meeting him. And in my head canon, it's actually written here. Dawn called her to get some advice regarding his relationship with Cassandra. Because yes, before Bella's disappearance, Cassandra and Dawn were already engaged. And even with Dawn cheating, Cassandra was completely oblivious to that. She didn't know. So yeah, then Dawn called Bella this kind of stuff. Oh, can you please give me some advice on your daughter? I'm kind of lost and everything. And then Bella kind of overshared some stuff. She said that she also felt a little bit suffocated in her relationship with Mortimer and that she knew what it was like to feel kind of trapped in a relationship. And so they had this really deep and intimate conversation that night. They were watching the stars through the telescope that Doc had. And accidentally, Bella was abducted. At least, Dawn thought it was accidental. Later, it was discovered that yes, it did had the hand of the Cliente sisters to help her abduction. So Dina specifically could marry Mortimer and have access to the Goth fortune. And yeah, so Bella was abducted. Dawn was not involved in that. He was completely shocked and surprised when that happened. And he just told the first of the story. People believed it because although Dawn is really a scumbag, I don't think he's smart enough to plot something like that. So nobody doubted his version of the story. And they just believed that okay, Bella was really abducted, and that was an unhappy accident. Yeah, that was basically the plot. And then, basically, they married. They got together for a few months. Like I think the marriage didn't last a year. It lasted 10 months or so because in this meantime after marriage she was back from the abduction. She somehow managed to escape. She spent like 5 years lost in Strange Town, but yet she found a way back to her home, to her husband and family. And as she saw Dawn and remembered their last conversation, she thought, well, Dawn is not that guy that everyone thinks he is. He's actually a nice and sweet guy. And they got involved in some way. And they were caught by Cassandra, they were caught by Mortimer, and were kind of banished from the Goth household. They were kind of dishonored, as we can say. So Dawn broke up with Cassandra. Actually, Cassandra broke up with him, and Mortimer broke up with Bella, making her use her bachelor surname again, so she doesn't have any more ties to the Goth family. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened after her coming back. Bella and Dawn went to live together in his condo until their last days. And I'm gonna get that in another video. But even though Cassandra's and Dawn marriage was not so long, it was enough time for them to have one son, which is Bruno. And Bruno has his own story, and he's already an elder. I think he's on his last days. He's living on another household, so basically that's it. So yeah, they had one son and then got divorced, and then Cassandra was left alone to raise his son. And although Don is a scumbag, he was a present father in Bruno's life. And growing up, Bruno knew that what he did was very wrong. He never really taught valuable lessons to his son in this matter, this relationship matter. But Bruno had enough self knowledge and self reflection to know that it was wrong, and he inherited none of his father's manners. Or did he? Let's see. Anyway, 10 years after all these incidents, Mortimer's dead, and he left the big Goth mansion to Cassandra since Zender opted to go to college and start his life over in another house, far away from all the fights, the ghosts, and memory and traumatic memories from the Goth household. So Xander saw all of that. He was a child, so it really affected the way he saw relationships, marriage, and family. So he didn't want to get involved anymore. Cassandra offered the house for him to live when he got out of college, but he just refused. He wanted to start it all over in another place. Some more time has passed, and Cassandra married again with Daring Dreamer. So yeah, I love to pair these two. Daring has been in love for Cassandra for a while, but that was kind of platonic. And then after all these events, Cassandra finally noticed that Daring was a really nice and sweet guy. Yeah, their love was genuine. It was not interest, although Daring is completely broken by the beginning of the game. He didn't care. He honestly was happy with his simple life, but he wanted love. As Cassandra, he also wanted love. He wanted to find family again. So they married and they had another child, which is Bianca. Bruno gets along very well with his little half sister, Bianca, and also with Darren. So yeah, time passes, and then Bruno is not teenager anymore. He's turning into an adult, and the party is great and all. At the same night of Bruno's birthday, a mysterious fire occurred, and the question remained: was it a result of the strong spring storms that happened and struck lightnings all around the place? Or was it the theory of the ghosts that are never fully put to rest? And time passes. It's just Daring, already an elder, spending time with his child, Bianca. And here is where the story gets starts to get more interesting. So Bruno had this teenage love, which is Brenda. So Brenda was this blonde girl. She's a townie, like I didn't create her or anything. And they dated through Bruno's teenage years, but they ended up splitting up. Their relationship was not so adjusted at the time. They were both very young and not sure of what they wanted. Brenda is a romance scene and Bruno is a popularity scene. So they kind of meshed in that matter, but something was off. He starts to feel like she just wants to use him as a play date. He's not sure. Actually, Bruno into a breakup, but he, as you can see, he's not very happy about that. And then he goes to meet some new people. They start dating because they have some stuff in common. Just doesn't go further. He gets a job and he is fired on the first day. So things are not going really well for Bruno. Speaking about the half sister Bianca, she's a grown up now and she's a teenager. She's making lots of friends. This one is Larissa Caliente, which is Lina's daughter, but that's for another household. They then buy a lovely car, and then Bianca goes to her first night out to a nightclub, and she has a date with Neri, which is a townie, and they fall in love, but it's more of a teenage love, nothing too serious. It was that just a night kind of thing. And she decides it's time for a makeover, so she goes and changes her clothes, her hair. She adopts more of a goth style, resembling the looks of her mother. And here is where things get even more interesting. So after a while, when she's almost in the ending of her teenage years, she meets Riandro. Yeah, which is the guy here in the house, and yeah, she's the girl here in the house, the woman here in the house. So yeah. And Riandro is no one other than Nina's Caliente's son. It seems like the bonds between the Goths and the Calientes are hard to cut. So Bianca quickly falls in love with Leandro, Nina's son, and it's just impossible to ignore the chemistry between them. Then we have Derry passing away. Fortunately, has come the time for Derry to say goodbye to his beloved family. At least he's saying goodbye, being sure that he was very loved and he left beautiful children in the world and also lived a beautiful love. Now he's gonna reunite with Darlene in the afterlife. So that's beautiful. So yeah, rest in peace. They have kind of like a funeral situation here, mourning, and he's buried in the Goth cemetery. Like he's not gone. He's not in the community cemetery that I have here. He's here. Next to him is Cassandra, that died a few years later because he was always a little bit older than her. So yeah, he passed before. So let's keep going. So Cassandra knows that her life is coming to an end, so she spends the day taking care of the house, garden, and sharing a lot of love with her children so she can go in peace at their indeed. And so Bianca celebrates her birthday. She's becoming an adult. And then as soon as she becomes an adult, and I remember this because that really hurt my heart, like the next day, Cassandra was gone. Not even next day, as you can see by the picture, the same night of her birthday, her mother passed away, leaving Bianca alone in this big, big mansion. So, yes, now that Bianca is an adult, she has the responsibility to take care of the enormous Goth household. So then she had a date. Remember, Neri, that one night kind of guy? Well, they have a date. They meet again, have a coffee, and they share some stories and laugh a little together. But yeah, that's Bianca is just not feeling it. And on the next day, she calls Riandro, Nina's son, which has always been her true love, and instantly she feels the same that she felt when she first saw him. And after a very hot night, Bianca finds out that she's pregnant. So she can barely wait to share this news with Riandro and get married to him. So yeah, she's very, very much pregnant and they are already engaged and it's time to plan the wedding. So as you can imagine, they end up having a nice, large, beautiful ceremony. When she's almost giving birth, they adopt a cute little dog. And in a very rainy night, like in the end of the spring, here it is, Lua, the new Goth household member. There she is, Lua Caixão, or Moon God. Yeah, it's literally Moon because she was born during the night, and Riandro is really into aliens and studying the sky because of his ancestors, which were aliens in the Caliente history. So yeah, they name her after the moon, and it's the firstborn of this new generation. And here she is. She's giving her first steps into the life and everything. So cute. And she also gets along very well with the dog. He's kind of her guardian. He's always by her side and everything. Yeah, very cute. They are a very happy family. I'm gonna break down for you guys. There's not much drama going on, like negative drama. So here is just some screenshots of they enjoying their family life, that they had moments and everything. And here she is. So Lua is now a teenager and she resembles a lot of Cassandra. She's like a copy of Cassandra with darker skin and lighter hair. Like I love it. She was a very nerdy girl since the childhood, and she's very inspired by his dad, which is a game developer at the beginning. Then he later becomes a professional game player, but he's still a developer. So yeah, I have made up some titles. I'm gonna read this one for you guys. Always a very good student, Lua was very focused. After all, her greatest dream was to engaged in the private school of Pleasantview, and already she was already thinking about her future in the gaming development career. She has always been very passionate about the geek world, and following her father's inspiration, she had the dream of being a very great developer of big titles such as Pocket Creatures, The Last of Us, Farsi, and many others. Just to say, Bianca had no career at all because she was very focused on taking care of the house and the children. So she never kind of fit that 9 to 5 job. She tried, she did, but it was not really her thing. She liked to garden, she liked to clean the house and cook for children. So yeah, she was basically a housewife. And Leandro was provided all the money. And before you ask, the money that went down here was because I just have some mods that make bills a little bit higher, so it's a bit more challenging to take care, and they are more equivalent to the house size and the house furniture. So the Goth household here has bills of approximately 10,000 simoleons, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so bills drained a little bit of their money, and also when Bruno moved out, he got part of his inheritance. So he moved out not only with that 20 simoleons amount, but with a little bit more from his family savings. Also, when Xander went out, he also got a little bit of this money. And when other sims go to college, they also have to pay a little bit. So yeah, that's why their money is like half of what it is at the beginning, but it is still a lot. So then here's just Lua having some great time gaming with her friend. This girl here is Bravely Bro's granddaughter. We're gonna get to that later. And here that's kind of the beginning of Lua understanding her sexuality. She is bisexual, so yeah, that's where she begins to notice that she likes both men. And of course, one of their favorite activities together was to play games as like father and daughter kind of thing. And well, some more years passed, and after an unexpected meeting with aliens, from which Riandro doesn't remember much, his belly started to grow in a very unusual way. He also started to have like morning sickness, and he was always very tired and hungry. And it was very similar to what Bianca felt during her pregnancy. So yeah, Riandro was pregnant of aliens. And then Bianca also discovers that she likes not only to garden but also to paint as her father did, and she had a natural talent. She was earning money basically by painting and writing books. She was very creative. Then time passes, and yeah, Rihanna was really pregnant. He realized that, and then Lua showed each time more talent for the games, and she was very close to her cousin, which is Gustav, and he is Bruno's son. So I'm gonna show the family tree in a moment so you don't get lost. Bianca is preparing a dish for the headmaster so Lua can engage in private school. And here's the lovely dinner. She ends up getting the scholarship for the private school. And so Riandro gives birth to two little alien babies. Yeah, welcome to Pleasantview, little ones. And as always, Bianca was very happy because the family was even larger. She didn't care that they weren't her biological sons. She just wanted to have a big and beautiful, happy family. And as a tradition in the Goth household, she had a birthday party and she was also going to college. The twins were already growing up too. They then became lovely toddlers. They were so different from one another. I love this. Like, look, they have both the pollination technician traits and Riandro's traits, so that's lovely. Then they grow up yet again. So Andromeda is the older sister, and Saturn is the youngest. Unfortunately, time comes for a pet. He was already a very old dog. He was with Bianca since the beginning of her adulthood. So that's the point where they adopt the cats. So first they adopt Gilbert, which is a really cute cat, and I chose him mainly because of the ears. Like, this is so cute. Like, these ears, these pointy ears resembles me of like an elf cat kind of species. So I think it matches the aliens so much. That's why I choose him. And they recently adopted a kitty named Pudding. Yeah, it's literally pudding in Portuguese. Bianca is now an elder, and she is just spending her golden years with Leandro. As you can see, it was the very last event in the Goth household because she has just become an elder, and Leandro is a little bit older. He's 55 years, and she's 53. So I think now it's time for them to reach the golden years of marriage. So yeah, that's basically it for the Goth household. The kids are actually at school, so let's just fast forward a bit so you can see them. Oh, they have no food. They have no food. That's dangerous. Oh, the kids can do that once they're home. They're here. I think they're really cute. Like, Saturn just gives me Xander vibes, like Xander Goth when he was a child. He has the black hair. He's very nerdy and everything, more of a lazy, playful guy, but the physical resemblance is undeniable. And then we have Andromeda. She's very neat sim, not much sociable, so she's like the shy sister, and she's not very playful also. She's very active and very nice. So, yeah, that's an interesting personality if you ask me. I love it. Oh, and one last thing that I almost forgot to show you guys. The family tree. Here we have Bianca nas nuvens, which is Bianca Dreamer Goth. Like, her full name would be that. And in Portuguese, that is Bianca from the Clouds Coughing. So this is Bianca, her half brother Bruno, and we have here Dirk, who already passed. I'm not gonna spoil, but yeah. So, in fact, she has two half brothers, and here we have Cassandra, Daring, we have her husband, her daughter, and if we go into Leandro, we are gonna see Nina, we're gonna see Dawn. Yeah, yeah, that's a complicated situation. She's like very distant, um, distantly related to Dawn. No, she's not related to Dawn at all. Sorry. The Caliente, Lothario, and Goths are always related in some way. Like, these are hard to cut bonds, and yeah, that's basically it. And we're seeing Nina, alien children, and we have Cassandra here. So Xander has already, yeah, all of the second generation has already passed. We are gonna get to Ana Laura in another video. We have then Bella Goth. Here we have Bruno, which married Brenda. Remember, they had broken up for the last time when they were adults. So yeah, they married and they had a son. That's the Goth family tree. That's it, guys. That's part of the Goth story. So I just want to apologize for the harsh cut in the end of the video. I recorded so much stuff in one take, and then I had to edit many things in and out to make the video cohesive for you guys. And that's why I didn't make a proper ending. So here I am right now. So thank you so much for watching this video of me showcasing you my Pleasantview save. And let me know what you think in the comments, if you have any questions, if you like the stories and the families that I created, and if something wasn't clear due to the audio being a little bit strange in some points of the video. Anyway, I had to do some workarounds because the music was too loud, and then I had to cut it off later, but then the voice thing in the edition software was not so good. But anyway, I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, to leave a like and a comment, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.